Morning, everyone. How is everyone? It's Thursday. We've almost made the week. We still don't know who president is, and life goes on, right? And we just keep on going. Tomorrow's Friday, and everybody will be glad with that. If anybody's battling with the COVID, I just pray for them and hope that you get better soon. Today I wanted to do just an all-occasion grapevine wreath. When I first started learning how to do wreaths, I learned how to do it on a grapevine wreath. So we got away from the grapevine wreaths and went more to the deco mesh and the wire form. But to me, the grapevine wreath is more natural, and I'm going to do that today. And it's, let me see what size it is. I didn't even measure it, but here we go. It is 18 inches wide and about 19 inches long. And I wanted to do an all occasion one, and I was inspired by this bush that I got, and it had all of this together on it. Oh, sorry, I haven't moved it back. Sorry, here we go. I want to move you down. All right. So now the grapevine wreath, you can kind of sit down better. All right, I was inspired by this and the colors in this, and I just love the blues. And what I did already is I went ahead and I cut these off of the stem that held them together, and I've separated them into flowers and into greenery. And then I have some extra flowers if I need to borrow some of those. So I've got pipe cleaners, just different colors. I've got my wire cutters, my scissors, and of course my hot glue gun. It's real simple making a grapevine wreath. But there's several ways to do it. So you can start with the flowers and make where you want the flowers and then put the bow in the middle. Or you can just like put a bow and then just a couple of flowers. So I'm going to start by putting the flowers in first. And there's 2 white flowers, so I'm going to leave them for last. And I'm going to put the blue flowers in. And they're 2 different colors, so just pay attention to the colors when you're doing it and kind of get them to where you know that it'll be even, the colors. Okay, I'm just going to start. And sometimes what I do is I start and I put it in there, and I'm thinking, okay, is this where I want it? Is this how tall I want it? How big is a wreath going to be? How big is a bow going to be? I didn't have a lot of blue ribbon when I started this morning, but I gathered what I thought would work without having to go to the store. So we'll get into that when I get ready to put the ribbon. So the flowers, this one seems just, let's see, it's a little long because it's coming out on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off a little bit. This will be our first flower. Just cut off about 3 inches or so. And I know you can't see it, but I still have my little, this is hot glue electric skillet pot that is really good to use if you do a lot of wreaths. So you don't have to use your glue gun. You just twirl it in this hot glue, and then you just stick it in like so. Now you can bend your flowers later, but for right now I'm just going to see what I've got. I always take this greenery, instead of pulling it down, I take the greenery and I push it up, okay? And then here again, I'm going to decide right now how fluffy I want this bow. So here's this, and sure enough, this is out on the other side, just like the other one was. So I'm going to cut it off about the same amount, just about 3 inches. And this is the same color I'm working with that was in the bundle. This came from Walmart. I think it was $6 for the bundle of flowers. And then the grapevine wreath, I'm pretty sure it came from Hobby Lobby for $4.99. Okay, there we go. This one's kind of an oddball, so I'm going to leave it to the side. Okay, I got that color in. Well, I'm going to use it because this is the other color that matches, okay? Push your greenery up. And here again, we're starting to build on this, so like that right there, just a tiny bit shorter. It needs to be cut off just like the rest of them. You can cut them off shorter as you're, before you start if you want to, but I don't like to because I like some of my stems long. I made a little red truck wreath yesterday for Christmas, and I made a Winter Wonderland wreath last night, and I finished it this morning. It's on my group page. I think I posted it. Okay, get that in all the glue. You can see from the glue, it just goes all the way up the stem, so it's easier to do like that. All right. Okay, so now we've got that. And I have, the rest of this is greenery besides these flowers right here, okay? So I'm just going to work with that. My dog is barking. He barks at everything and anything. So who knows what he's barking at. Just excuse me while I'm going to keep this one. This is kind of an oddball. I'm going to start working on these white ones. And I think I'm going to put them closer together. So I'm going to cut them off pretty short. There it went flying up across the room. I turned on my Christmas music this morning. So this is my first time to turn on the Christmas music for the year. Usually November is the time I start thinking about Christmas. Even though this is not a Christmas wreath. I love Christmas. Okay, so we're going to put it in, and we're going to put it like this because the bow is going to go right in the middle. So try to keep room for the bow. And like I said, you can bend your flowers later. Just kind of get a sense of how short you want to cut the stem. I always cut it longer and then check. There's a piece of greenery I'm going to put back on here. So now the white flowers. Oh, yesterday I burnt myself. Ooh, I got hot glue on this whole side of the finger, and then I went to pull the hot glue off and it ripped my skin right off. Oh, sorry guys, it was pretty bad. Okay, so now I'm going to start working with the greenery. And there were, let's see, there were 3 of these. So, let's see, just about where I want it right here. So I'm going to cut it off just a little bit because I want it long, since it is the greenery part. I hope you guys are like learning and enjoy like me giving you some hints on how to do this. Just push that in like so. Now if you get down here and you get doing the exact same thing, it may be too much for the bottom, but we're going to put this in right here, and I'm going to have to cut this one off pretty short. So it's okay for this one to be a little taller because this is the bottom of your wreath. Okay. This glue is so, I don't know, it's getting like real gummy. Alright, so let's put it in under here. So far we're keeping it kind of equal. And that one did not go in the wreath. You can tell when it goes in the wreath or set on top. You got to get it in the wreath. Alright. And you just mess with the greenery. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this one up here. Okay, cut it off just a little bit. Get the hot glue. Oh no. Ooh, it's stringy, stringy, stringy. Okay. Alright, I think it's doing okay so far. Can you see it? Okay. Still some more greenery. This is from the one bush, so it had a lot of stuff on this one bush from Walmart. I went to 3 Hobby Lobbies the other day to find flowers that I wanted to make this wreath, and 3 Hobby Lobbies did not have the colors I wanted. It's like, you know, their floral section is not as good as it needs to be for Hobby Lobby, if you ask me. But, oh well. I ended up getting this one at Walmart, so it worked out just as well. Okay, I'm keeping this little space open because we're going to put the ribbon there. Alright, and I'm pushing this, this one down here. I'm not going to use it like that. The greenery, I always push the greenery up. Well, if you push it out, then you can still use it. It's okay. This one's a real pretty piece, so I'm just going to put it down here. And be careful not to burn my fingers because I took it off the stem. Okay. You're getting it so far, kind of. I don't know how I get this angle on this camera. When my granddaughters are here, they help me a bunch. Okay, I've got this other piece of greenery. I'm just going to play with it. And I think I'm going to stick it on this side because my wreath is still going to go. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to keep this one out until after I make my bow, because there's so many ways to embellish the bow with greenery. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side and see about making the bow. Okay, now I've got an easy bow maker. It's called the Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. One of my ribbons just went flying. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so what you need is you need wide ribbon for the base, and then you need some more narrow ribbon to go on top. Well, I'm lacking narrow ribbon that I like to go on this. So we're going to see how this turns out anyway. I think it'll be fine. Just kind of make it like you want it anyway. So there's a flower. I got to keep that flower. This is, it's got a little wire in it, but it doesn't have a lot of wire. It's just kind of a tan looking. I'm going to see if I can make this into a bow. It doesn't work very well sometimes, but we're going to use it today because that's what I haven't. You know, it's like I say, when I do my videos, I don't practice this beforehand. This is just something that I just do as you're watching because I want it to be just like you would do. I don't go ahead and, you know, say, oh, I did this and have to correct it before I go online. No, I'm just doing it live, just exactly how it needs to be. Now, this Easy Bow Maker has inches on there. So this one right over here was a little over, almost 6 inches. So you got to make them exactly the same or it won't look right. 6 inches. Okay. And the tail, you know, work with the tail however long you want it. I'm going to cut it a little long. Put this aside. I would really like to use this burlap ribbon, but I think I'm going to skip it and go and see if I have enough of this, because it's blue, it will match to go next. This one does have a wire in it, so you get it in there and you squish it down real tight. And this one is either side. You don't have to worry about the sides. Pull these down. Yeah, what I didn't do is put, I needed to put a wire underneath this ribbon. So when I pick the ribbon up, my pipe cleaner will already be on there. You can use floral wire pipe cleaners. You can use zip ties, but just slide this underneath there, right about in the middle, and I just take it to keep it out of my way. I run it underneath this one, and then I run this one underneath that side, just to keep it out of the way. Okay, back to this burlap. Remember, this is ribbon I had on hand. I didn't go get special ribbon to make this video, so we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I'm going to put this in there. This one was about 6 inches, and this one's going to be about 5 inches. And this is the same way. You don't have to worry about which side. Okay. Make sure you get it even. And I think I have enough for another loop, so I'm going to go ahead and do another loop to the bow. Doing it just a tad bit shorter. And the bow and the ribbon just wrinkles up. You just kind of have to work with it. Tad bit shorter. Okay, I'm going to twist it. I'm going to put the tail out this way. Because if you put the ribbon where you want it, then it's easier to work with after you pull it out. Okay. Now I have this white burlap ribbon. I'm going to use it now. I'm putting the tail this way. Can always move the tails later if we want. Like a smaller loop bow than what you did the one before, so it kind of stacks out. Now at this point I'm wondering, should I make another loop? I'm thinking about using this. Let me see how this looks. I may take it back off, but I'm not going to cut this one yet. I'm going to see how this looks. It's not bad. I'm going to try this. This is one-sided, so you have to twist it. Okay. Twist. Straighten. And it's just going to make a little small loop in the middle, which will be good. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that tail. If I don't like it, when I get through, I just start over sometimes, because you've got it cut the right way that you want it anyway. The only thing I wanted to put on there was this one, which is a little fancier, but it's okay. I think I have enough. Okay. So now I'm going to undo these top cleaners I stuck behind. And I'm going to keep it pinched right in the middle. Bring the pipe cleaner over to meet each other. Keeping it right in the center. This is the hardest part. Is keeping the bow right where you want it. Squish it down. Keep your fingers on it. And twist it as hard as you can. Twisting the bow. Always twist the bow, not the stick. Okay? So now this is kind of what we have to work with. A lot of people, they go ahead and fluff out their bows like right now after you get it off, but sometimes I find that fluffing the bow beforehand doesn't do a lot of good, because you're going to fluff it again once you get it on the wreath. So I'm going to try to see what it looks like and see if I like it. Okay. And see which way I like it. I like it this way better. Just don't worry about it where it's out on your flowers. I'm just going to twist it underneath here. Twist it together. Okay. Now, see how pretty it's looking already? Okay, now what you want to do is you want to get your loops out that you made, your biggest ones first. Pull them up or down, whichever way you want to pull it. Here's the tail on one of them, okay? And we'll work with the tails in a minute, okay? Just pull them down, okay? Then the blue one, we had 2 loops on the blue one. There's the tail. Pull it out. Pull it out. I like to pull it and twist it. Pull it and twist it. Pull it and twist it. Pull it, twist it. Next was this, the white burlap. Pull it, give it a twist. Pull this, give it a twist. And then our inside bow was this. So, and this right here, I don't have it pulled so tight that I can't pull it to make it even, to make 2 bows even right there, okay? All right, now let's work with the tails. Okay, your tails, you don't want your tails to be bigger than the flowers, basically. So, here's one tail, and I'm just going to go ahead and dovetail it. I'm going to do it short enough to keep it off of the flowers. Okay. This one's hard to dovetail because it's really not a ribbon. Okay. The blue, there's one blue. Here's another blue. It's down low, so it's not covering any flowers, so I'm not going to make it shorter. I'm just going to dovetail it. Okay. And the same thing with this one. It's off to the sides, not on the flower, so just dovetail it. Okay, just looking for my tails. There's dovetailed. I'm going to dovetail this one. I can already tell you that this one right here is not going to be my friend. So this type of ribbon, I'm going to take it and I'm going to burn the edges. Okay, on both of these tails, because this is like deco mesh. It looks like it's going to ravel. So just give it a little burn to keep it from raveling, okay? All right, let's finish dovetailing our tails. Each one is going to be a little different, so okay. There's one. This one is on the flower, so I'm going to make it a little shorter. Okay. Oops, I did it just the opposite. It's okay. I do that all the time. Just turn it around and fix it. It's a good thing that one was short anyway. Okay. Now we kind of got the tails in order. Okay, now let's fluff the bow. Okay. I'm glad I put 2 blue ones because this one doesn't really count too much as a loop. Matter of fact, I would kind of like just to cut that and make that a tail, because it's really not doing anything. Okay, just work with this bow. Takes a lot of time, more time to do the bow, to work with it, than it does any of them, okay? So, work with it. This one's in the center, so just pull it. Okay. Now what we want to do is start using the greenery again around the bow. These tails might be still too long for me. I don't know, but when you do it like this, it's not that bad, okay? But I'm going to start putting in some greenery around the bow, okay? So you just have to open the bow up and just see where you're going to put it. Like right here. It's got a little bit too much greenery for me. So we're going to try it right here, okay? Alright. Don't be afraid to stick it in the middle of the bow. Make it look like it's coming out of the bow. It's kind of incorporated into the part. Okay. Now, I don't have any more greenery that came with that bundle of flowers. This is all from that bundle of flowers from Walmart, okay? So now I'm going to pick up some other greenery. I still have this one blue flower also, but I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. So I have this greenery, which I think it would look good. I'm going to cut it. And then I have some lamb's ear. Just to get the different textures on your wreath, makes it look good. So we're going to use some of these. Okay. Some of these are shorter, so like this one I'm just going to pull off. And I'm going to put it in the wreath because it's short. Just make it look like it's part of the bow. And I'm not touching that because I don't want to burn my finger. It's coming out of the bow. Okay. Well, start pulling your flowers up where you want them. Okay. Remember I said a while ago not to worry about bending your flowers yet. Now we're going to start bending the flowers to get it like you want it towards the bow. We're still going to work with that bow. Okay. Now all we're going to do is work in some more greenery. This is just a fern. Okay, don't burn your fingers. Go for some shorter ones. See, don't be afraid to work with it and put it in and pull it out and see what looks good to you. Does anybody else like blue? Does anybody else have like a blue room that this would go in? Okay, one more of these. Okay, so here we go. Just work with it. Work with your bow. Like I said, the bow is just stuff I had around the house, so I squish the bow and then I have to refluff it, and everybody does that. You're all the time refluffing the bow. Okay, this wire was bent already, so when you bend it, you got to get that bend out of it. And also when you're doing your tails, here's what you should do. You should take your finger and just roll it on that to make to make it kind of roll back on all of the tails. Put your fingers and roll it back. Roll it back. That's what you want your tails to do. You want your tails to be rolled back. Roll it back. This one, like I said, is not really a wired ribbon, so you can't work with that. Okay. Alright. It's kind of a really pretty wreath, just like that. I'm going to use my hot glue for this one. Just get it sitting down a little bit more. See if I can do it without burning my fingers. I know I say that all the time, but hot. Let's see. Here's my craft stick I have, which I keep it close by. Instead of using my fingers, I use the craft stick. Okay. So, what do you think? You think it needs some more greenery? You think it's okay like that? I have some lamb's ear if we want to put lamb's ear in it. I love this, but if you put lamb's ear in it, it kind of makes it look more fallish, but it'd be really pretty just to go along at the outside edge and put lamb's ear in it. Okay? So I might work with it after I get offline, but for what we did today, this is what I wanted to show you. You can also take another ribbon just like that and set it on this side if you wanted it to. You just build it out however you want it. But this is what we got on a just a Walmart stem with flowers on it. Okay. I'm gonna make I'm making a Christmas bell kind of out of dollar store colanders. So I've got that on my list to do. I'm not sure if I'll do it today, but I wanted to so that's probably going to be my next project. Okay guys, I hope you like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.